welcome to episode 2 of the Lonely Knitter podcast. My name is Laura and this is where I come to chat about all things yarny, crafty in my life. If you're joining me for the first time, hi, I have been podcasting on YouTube for a few years now, but I have had some big changes go on around here, which means that I have started again with my podcast. This is episode 2 and you can find episode 1 on the channel. There is all of my 91 back episodes from before this change in my life there if you would like to see them, but we've begun again, so hi. If you're not new and you're back again, hi. Thanks for coming back. New or returning, my dog is growling at the wind, I don't know. New or returning, if you have not subscribed to the podcast and you would like to, every time someone subscribes I do a happy dance, and yeah, it just helps me to sort of grow my reach. If you click the thumbs up as well, makes me super happy. So you can find me elsewhere on the internet. I am mostly on Instagram as @thelonelyknitter. My hand-dyed yarn company and my things that I make are up on my website, which is thelonelyknitter.co.uk and .com. And then I also run East Anglia Yarn Festival, which is in March in Norwich and in the UK. And you can find that website online as well. Everything will be below. In terms of socially, if you'd like to get chatty with me and the other less lonely knitters, I have a Discord group. It will be linked below, where we just like to chit chat about yarny life and other things. I have been absent for probably the last 2 or 3 days, but I will be jumping back in there very shortly. Things are really hotting up for East Anglia Yarn Festival, and I am finding every spare second of my day is gone. So hopefully things will start to even out in a little while, but I am in a very busy time at the moment. So before I get into the podcast proper, I'm gonna let you know the winner for last week's giveaway. So last week I was giving away, or it wasn't last week, last episode, it was a couple of weeks ago now. I was giving away this from my stash. It is from, don't look at my face, camera. It is from the Yarn Tart, and I bought it absolutely ages ago. I think I bought it at my first ever yarn show actually, which was Yarnporium in London just after I got married. And it's gorgeous, but it just hasn't got chosen from my stash in what now, coming up for 4.5 years. So yeah, it needs to go somewhere and be loved. So I chose a comment at random from last episode, and the winner was Brandy R, and the comment that she put, part of the comment she put, really got me, because it says, "It seems such a short time since I was watching you in your kitchen in the other house with a few skeins of yarn. Testament to all your hard work that you are here now talking about all your whips, yarn shows and children at school." First of all, thank you, Brandy. Second of all, I haven't moved. I'm just in the living room, not in the kitchen. I wish we could move, but house prices are crazy, and getting a mortgage when you're self-employed, etc., building things up on a new house. Yeah, we're still in the same old house. I'm just in a different room. I could take you back to my absolute bomb site of a kitchen another time for sure. But yeah, when I started the podcast the first time around, it's what, I think it was 2018. So I had a 1-year-old. Now I have a 6 and a 3-year-old because Ellie turned 6 since the last podcast as well. And yeah, my children are growing up. They're both now in childcare. Well, Ellie's in school, Alfie's in nursery, and it's a bit crazy. So yeah, and I can't believe it. But yeah, 5 years ago I had 1 child, and I was still working a day job. I worked in pharmacy, and I was busy all the time, same as I am now. But I didn't have very much of a yarn budget, so I didn't have very much yarn, or at least not a lot of hand-dyed yarn. And now I'm a yarn dyer and I'm surrounded by yarn. Things have certainly changed over the last few years, but because of it, you know, thank you for your lovely comment, but it's the support of this community that has meant that I could live my dreams. And I don't make tons of money, and I don't you know, I'm not amazingly well off or anything like that, but I am able to be home for my children quite a lot, and that is amazing because I'm working in the house. Sometimes I'm pulling my hair out and working until 4:30 in the morning because everything has gone wrong, but even then I have the ability to do that, to work around my family, and that is a huge privilege that I have been given by all of the amazing people who support me through my business. And it is hard every single day. And it's, you know, hard work and knackering every single day, but it's wonderful as well. So thank you, Brendy. That was really, really sweet. And this is coming to you. So if you send me a message when you've seen this, preferably on Instagram, then I can get it in the post to you. Giveaways for my podcast are always open worldwide, just so you're aware. So I will have another one because I know that there is something in one of these bags today that I want to get out of the house. So though, after I have got through the main body of the podcast today, there will be another little giveaway towards the end. So watch out for that one. I'm not saying I'll do them every episode, but at the moment I have some things and I want to share. So for this one's Brendy's. Here you go. And there will be another one for this one, and maybe next time. We shall see. Anyway, I didn't really do a proper intro. Hi, my name's Laura. I started off as a lonely knitter. Now I'm not so lonely, but I haven't left the name behind. And I'm from Lowestoft in England. It's the most easterly town sticking out into the sea. And I live here with my husband, my 2 young children, my young dog, my old cat, and a lot of children's toys and yarn. So let's get into it. Finished objects. I have finished objects. I genuinely was like, yeah, I'm giving it the big one last episode. Like, here are all my finished objects from the last how many months I actually had to finish finished objects. It's only been a few weeks and I have things to share. So we will have seen these last time. Now there are 2. This was Frog It or Finish It from last episode. So on the last episode, I decided to start a new section in the podcast called Frog It or Finish It, because I have so many whips, it's unreal. I have a really bad habit of casting on things willy-nilly with wild abandon and then shoving them in a project bag and not looking at them for a very long time. Okay, I'm just going to talk about this because, like, elephant in the room. Look at my blue finger. I've been dyeing yarn today and I needed to speckle the tiniest bit of yarn dye, and so I was like, oh, I'm not getting a glove out for that tiny little bit. Wish I had now, didn't I? So yeah, I dropped the lid for the dye and it went, and so now I got my nails done last night. My sister-in-law does my nails and she gave me some Valentine. Come on, there we go. No, maybe not, I don't know. You get the gist. They're Valentine's-y, but the camera hates me. I give up. They're oh, there you go. Valentine's-y nails. But now I've ruined them. And I did it and it puffed and I went, oh, like that. And then took my mask off and went and pasted like blue. So I've scrubbed at my face, but you can still see on my lip. Not along there. There's blue in my lip. Oh, for God's sake. So yeah. Elephant in the room, I have a blue hand. It looks gross. It's a creepy finger. Anyway. Off track. So, I've got a bit of a cold as well, as you can probably hear in my voice. not very attractive. But I was like, well, if we don't record today, I can't record for another 4 days because there'll be people in my house and nobody wants that. So when I did frog it or finish it last time, I had 1 whole sock of this pair done, and I think just this tiny little bit of the second. So I knit my socks top down, and this yarn is the Fibre Fox in rose gold. Come on, why do you hate me? Why? Oh my gosh. It just, I think it's better with my face in. I'm leaving all this in, by the way. Enjoy. So the Fibre Fox in rose gold, and it's a pattern that I came up with. Yeah, I called them the Chrissy wake up socks. I was in the throes of Stranger Things, and Chrissy and yeah, Eddie, and I was like, Chrissy would wear socks like this in a colour like this, and I'm gonna make these rumply up legs, and then I looked at them after and was like, I don't like these. Not one bit. I do not like what I did here, but I finished them anyway because I was like, well, actually finished something. So now I actually quite like them, and they're really comfy, so it's fine. So I have a pair finished of DK weight socks. I loved how fast these, I'm just throwing things on the floor, how fast these worked up. They worked up super quick. Obviously I only had 1 to do because I had 2, or I had 1 already, but the second one worked up super quick, and those can go in my box of socks. So this is my box of socks for this year. The aim is to have 12 pairs of socks in there by the start of December, but I'd like more, but I'm not setting myself giant targets that I can't do. So we now have 2 pairs. One is the little grey girl and one is the Fibre Fox. So I've got two of my friends in my little box already. And actually, if I do manage to get 12, that would be quite full. It's not a very big box. So that's finished object number 1. Finished object number 2, I then cast on, and it is finished, even though I haven't woven the ends in, because I say so. I will do those 2 little ends before I gift it, obviously. And it is a tiny, teeny, beloved baby bonnet, which is a pattern by Trinket Knits. My lovely friend, it's not that tiny, it's the baby size, not the newborn size, but I did the wrong needle size on purpose. I liked this fabric. It's Pigment Ply yarn, but I can't remember the colourway, sorry. And it is just a baby bonnet. I made these for my children. They fit super well. They're super cute. So you can see the short row edge to make the neck side, like the neck part, smaller than the head opening, and then the little ties. So I just need to sew my end up the I-cord on both of those, and then this can be gifted. So my friend had her first grandchild, and I'm going to be seeing her this month, so this is to give her, and I'm hoping to get something else finished as well, but I'm trying not to put pressure on myself. So that's finished object number 2, and finished object number 3 is a teeny tiny little thing. And this is a little Trinket dish. It's made from the same yarn. It's made from some of the leftovers. And it is a very simple little Trinket dish. So East Anglia Yarn Festival, which is the yarn show that I ran, in the programme last year, in the little book that everyone got, there was a cowl knitting pattern of mine. I wrote a new pattern for the book, and it's just a small little easy pattern as a little freebie in the book. This year I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I wanted to have a crochet option as well. So I have a little Trinket dish. I'm not 100% sure this is how it will look in the very end, but it is just something that can fit onto a little A5 page, a little project that you can make with bits that you get from the show. And so yeah, so I've made and I'm throwing it all over the place, a little Trinket dish. I think it's brilliant for like stitch markers, little bits and bobs so you don't lose them. It's got a nice, I don't know why I keep moving my head out of the picture like it's going to focus, because it's not focusing. But it's a nice tight gauge, so it's not all holy or anything like that. My lovely friend Ali is a crocheter, and she is crochet tech editor, crochet queen, and she is making the crochet version. It's not meant to look the same, it's her own take on a crochet little dish, so that there is a knit and a crochet option in the book for this year, because last year I'm not a crochet designer, I do not have those skills, and last year I only had a knit pattern, and I really want to have a crochet one as well, because we have a lot of crocheters in our area. A lot of crocheters come to the show, and I don't ever want anyone to feel that that we're putting knitting above crochet. They're both on a level, and they're both really fun, and they're both something I want to include, and I don't want to ever exclude the crocheters. So we're going to have a knit and a crochet little thing. So that's all my finished objects. On to whips. Let's march through, because otherwise I will get slow, and before you know it, it'll be school pickup time. So let's go with what I have in my hands. This is a new cast on, because I have no chill. As soon as I finished the Fibre Fox socks, the DK socks from Frog It or Finish It, I took those needles and made the beloved bonnet hat, the beloved bonnet. And then I made the little dish. And then I was like, they're empty now. I can make another DK sock. They're quick. So even though I'd left the Fibre Fox DK socks on my needles for months, I then wanted to cast on another pair. So I grabbed this skein of yarn from my stash. This is Charlie's Chocolate Factory from Giddy Yarns. And it was the full skein with her advent calendar that I got for December 2022. I got the full skein in DK because single skeins of DK have become my jam for this year. And yeah, I thought I know that this is her 75-25 superwash merino nylon base, so I can make myself a pair of socks. So I have just done, I think I did 12 rounds on the cuff, and then 20-ish rounds, maybe not, around 20 rounds on the leg, and then a heel flap and gusset, which is my choice of yarn, of heel that fits me the best. And then I am now knitting down, I finished the gusset decreases and I'm knitting down the foot, or I've just started knitting down the foot. So we'll see if that actually continues, or if this just replaces the one that I pulled out for Frog It or Finish It in the giant pile of whips. I think it will continue, because it's just working up so quickly, and it's just a vanilla one, so it's not, I don't have to think about it. And it is living in this gorgeous bag from the Little Grey Girl, which is these, they look like yarn balls. They're not, they're like circles, but they look like yarn balls. Really nice pink bag. So that's living in the sock bag. I am a bit obsessed with these sock bags. I have another one here, and and I have another one I'm going to show you in a minute with a whip in. So that's whip number 1, Giddy Yarns DK socks. Whip number 2 is something I really wanted finished for this episode, and it's not. I thought that I would get these done. I really did, but I got a bit obsessed with finishing those other socks, and then making a hat, and then making a dish, and then starting another pair of socks, and these ones did fall a little bit to the wayside. So this is January's Out of the Clubhouse yarn. February's yarn is currently dyeing up, because I didn't have a chance to finish it towards the end of January, and I did a prototype and I didn't like it, so the second version is currently in the pans. But this is my Mickey Mouse colourway for January, from the come on mate, there we go, from Out of the Clubhouse. And February's will be inspired by Donald Duck, so we'll see how that comes out, if it isn't a disaster this time. So I finished the first sock. Comes with a contrasting mini, which I used at the top of the cuff, and for my heel and my toe, which is here, not here. And then I started the second one, which I am now halfway down the heel flap on. And I was on the heel, and I just switched to DK projects and left it behind. So that I am committed. That will be finished by next episode, and hopefully the February colourway comes out exactly how I plan in my head, and that will be cast on. So this is also in a Little Grey Girl sock bag. Yay. So hopefully these ones will be done by the next podcast episode, and that means 3 pairs of socks, and I'd love it if I could get the Giddy Yarns ones done as well, because then that would be 4 pairs of socks in February in the box of socks. in this bag, this is not a handmade bag, this is from Elizabeth Scarlett. I have a few of these now. Not a few, a couple. I have 2, I think, of these. I actually saw one of these, it wasn't this one, on the Crayabea podcast at one point, and she mentioned Elizabeth Scarlett bags, and I had a look online because I was like, that's a lovely bag, and I was like, those are a little bit out of my price range. My voice broke then. A little bit out of my price range. So I went on Vinted. My sister-in-law uses Vinted constantly and loves it. It's like, I'm gonna try that out. Went on Vinted, found loads for like a tenner. So if you ever think Elizabeth Scarlett bags, or anything really, you like the look of something and it's a little bit out of your price range and you are not against secondhand, Vinted has some bargains. So in this bag is the, oh my gosh, I've forgotten the name of it, Do Not Disturb by Louise Tilbrook. So I said I was going to start this last time. This is a skein of tweed on my tweed base of I'm burning up a sun just to say goodbye, which is a David Tennant Doctor Who quote from my pre-order. Pre-orders are currently closed. They were open for a week for the Doctor Who pre-orders, and you guys were incredibly supportive of the Doctor Who pre-order, and I'm very grateful. Now I have a lot of Doctor Who yarn to dye. So I have the very beginnings of the Do Not Disturb shawl, and you know what it is? It is simply that, how do I get it to focus? Because it just wants to look at my face, even when my face isn't in the picture. It's not, there we go. So, is that showing? There we go. I have the very beginnings of a Do Not Disturb shawl from Louise Tilbrook, from her pattern, in my Doctor Who yarn. But, come on mate, stop it. It won't focus. But I'm just gonna have to hold it back here. I have to count or like keep track of the rows, and the rows are obviously quite short, so I'm going across and then having to make a mark and then go back or click, or you know, and I just haven't had the concentration space. All of my knitting has happened while I'm doing other things over the last couple of weeks, while I'm reading emails, while I'm waiting for the kids to get out of their swimming lessons and I'm watching them swim, and so things I can't keep my eyes on. And the pattern hasn't, I haven't memorised the pattern yet. It's not that the pattern isn't the type you can, because it really is. I just have only done 3 repeats, so I haven't got there yet. So I've got a stitch marker from the Little Grey Girl on the right side. And yeah, I'm sure I will carry on with this because I want the shawl, the scarf, shawl, it's a shawlette. I want it, but I haven't really got cracking, so I'm trying to keep it in the living room so that I don't forget about it and it doesn't end up in the giant whip pile. My next thing I'm going to show you, I will show you this. So this is also stash enhancement because I bought next to nothing. I'm very proud of myself. That's actually not true. I bought some yarn from a dyer in America. A lovely friend who did, Brandy from Long Deck Yarn did a, and she did a little collaboration as well with Treehouse Knits, Treehouse Yarns. But Brandy did a Lord of the Rings collaboration release. My brain has stopped working. And there was one colour that I really loved, so I've really treated myself because I have never bought yarn from the US before. I'm pretty sure I've not bought out of the UK before. So I needed a crochet hook. So this is the only thing that I have bought that I have my hands on since the last episode. This has had barely any work on it. This is the Granny Hexagon Cardi, which is the Make Along project for East Anglia Yarn Festival for this year. So if you're interested in joining in with the Make Along, you can just head over to eastangliayarnfestival.com.uk and check out the Make Along page, and that will have all the details for the Make Alongs that we're doing. We have a knit and a crochet Make Along, and I'm attempting the crochet one. And this, so you make 2 giant hexagons and join them together into a cardigan. And when I saw you last, I had my 2 hexies and they were both, I think, finished or nearly finished on this last stripe of purple. Well, then I promptly lost my crochet hook. I have no idea what I've done with it. I've literally no idea where it's gone. So this one has had absolutely no work, and this one has had like a round and a bit of blue, and that's it. So I've really let myself down there because East Anglia Yarn Festival is now next month, and I haven't finished either one of the make-along garments yet. So I need to crack on with that. And I dropped some leaflets at one of our vendors. One of our vendors is a local yarn shop. I dropped some leaflets with them yesterday and grabbed a new 5.5mm crochet hook so I can at least carry on with that whenever I do get a minute. I have one last whip to show you. There is a very crinkly bag inside it. Here we go. So this is my mitered square blanket, my square a day blanket, inspired by my friend Sharon, who is in the knitting project, because she is very well known for putting a square a day on a blanket, and at the end of the year actually having a blanket instead of, like me, just casting on blankets willy-nilly and never ever finishing them. So I've marked the squares like Sharon does. I've marked the squares that I have knit since I last podcasted. I'll take all of these off today and then start putting them on new ones. There has been multiple days where I haven't done a square a day, which I'm cross with myself for, but it is just because of work and East Anglia Yarn Festival hotting up, and I'm going to bed at like 1 or 2 in the morning with work, which was something I was really hoping not to have to do. But at the end of the day, the show is hotting up and I'm trying to keep my own, like the Lonely Knitter yarn things going at the same time. So it's just going to have to be how it is for a little while. So it's okay that I haven't done my square a day, because I was at square 39 at the beginning of the year because I've managed to get a load of extras in before we started. So I have contingency squares. So first of all, I have this one. I don't remember who half of these are from or what they are, but if I do, I will let you know. So not sure. Stitch marker is, I will find out. But I have some gorgeous little stitch markers. This one's a pumpkin. This is Little Grey Girl. It's the leftovers from the socks that I have in my box. This is bigger on the, come on with the focus, bigger on the inside, which is one of my Doctor Who colourways. This is Clara, another one of my Doctor Who colourways. This is the Silence, Doctor Who. This is Fair Play Throughout the Universe, Doctor Who, and funnily enough also has a TARDIS stitch marker on it. This one is from Helen of Giddy Yarns. That is one of her Stephen King colourways, and I believe another one of her Stephen King colourways, and another one of her Stephen King colourways. And then I got to the end. So when I get to the end, I go back and I weave in all the ends for that entire stripe of 20 squares before I can start my next stripe. Here we go. So I'm up here on my next row, and this is, not going to focus, this is I'm Burning Up a Sun Just to Say Goodbye from my Doctor Who collection. This is one of Helen's. This, I believe, is one of Helen's, and that is one of Helen's. So those three are all, focusing is really not a good thing today. Those are all Giddy Yarns. So that's where I am. And I do have a slight update on that, which is I have a, when I can reach it, advent. So over the last few years, I have done mini skein swap advents with strangers on the internet, organised by Kelly of Lay Family Yarn, and she didn't do it last year, but this is from the previous year, where I was matched up with a lovely person on the internet, and we sent each other 5-gram yarn swaps made up into an advent for the whole of December. So this is number, let's pick one, 21. And there's a little tiny 5-gram mini in there. I can probably get 2 squares out of that, maybe. So what I'm going to do is start working through this one. This one is from, not from last year, but from the year before for advent. And I haven't worked with it yet. So yeah, that is all going to start getting put into the blanket, and then the minis, once I have put 1 square into the blanket, they all go into this basket on here, and as that fills up, when I've then run out of minis to put in, I'll just toss it like a salad and grab another mini from that, and there'll be duplicates in the blanket, but I don't mind. So yeah, so another strip of 20 done. So we're at 20, 40, 60, 64 squares so far. So I'm still ahead for the year because we're only, what, 33 days in. It's the 2nd of Feb. So I'm pretty happy with my blanket so far. And that is living in this bag from Giddy Sews, which is a lovely big sheep head bag, which I love. So those are all my whips. I'm pretty sure. Yes, looking around, that is everything that I have worked on since the last episode. So that means we are on to frog it or finish it. I grabbed a bag. I know what's in here. I had a quick peek, which is how I know that we're going to have a giveaway. So this is a Fibre Fox bag. I've got to learn how to focus this bag. Right, bag from the Fibre Fox. It's gorgeous. It's like woodland, mountains, bears, bison, a fox, lots of things. And inside it, it's one of these bags that has like a top as well. And I want this bag to be being used for something. In fact, I might move my Granny Hexy cardigan to here because that's in a Halloween bag, which I love and I'm happy to be all year round, but I love this bag. So I need to move something else into here. There's a random mini skein. Oh no. Okay, I don't know what's happened here. It is a random mini skein because the project that is in here. What's that? Scissors! Like, you know, and you're like, I can never find scissors. There is less yarn of this than I thought it was going to be. Okay, right. This is what is in the project that is in this bag. These are some of my very old colourways. There's nothing wrong with them. I just don't dye them anymore. I think this one might have been Moana inspired. I'm not sure. Not sure. I think both of them might have been Moana actually, from a very long time ago. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with them. I just don't dye them anymore. At one point, I thought I was going to make a dotted rays as a sample for shoes. Anything else in here? Pen with a blob on the top. What is that? A crystal? Like, I don't... Gubbins. I attract gubbins. I have small children, anything that they like the look of. The wrapper from a Tunnocks caramel bar thingy. Wow. And the screwed up pattern for the, that's lovely, isn't it? This is gross. So yeah, I'm gonna clear out this bag now, so there's no more yarn in here. I'm gonna clear out the other stuff. I am going to reclaim these Knit Pro Zings, 4mm Knit Pro Zings. And this is a dotted rays. In fact, it's not even at the end of a row. I've just left it midway through a row. I'm never going to finish this, and if I did finish it, I think I would want to do it in a colourway that I actually dye now. It's lovely, like there's nothing wrong with it, but this has been on the needles for a very long time. It's not my old yarn base, so it's not old, it's not my current yarn base. It's not my current yarn base, but it is from my current supplier, so it's not old. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It would have been pretty. It's quite a bit there really, isn't there? I'm probably going to cast it off and give it to Ellie. I'm not picking all them stitches back up. I don't love it. I don't love it. It's probably not even big enough for Ellie really. I mean, it might have been. I don't love it. The colours are not... Can you see I'm now convincing myself that I've done the right thing. The colours are nice, but I don't dye them anymore. I've just ripped the needles out of this massive project. I didn't realise how big it was. If it hadn't been all bunched up and left partway through a round, I probably would have been convinced to do a little bit more, then cast it off, and then give it to my kid. Geez, look. But I'm not backing out now. I'm not backing out now. Like, I need one less whip in this house. And I can't be adding it on to, like, finish it. No. So, this and the remaining yarn. What do people want? Tell you what. It's also got this. I don't even know where that came from. Just decided to add itself in. So, that obviously really wants to live with that. Tell you what. I'll just... bundle this up. frog it. It's frog it. Does anybody want this? So this is my giveaway for this, which is an awful giveaway, and I know it's an awful giveaway. I'll do a proper giveaway next time with actual skeined up yarn. But this is me saying, do you want it? If you want it, these are your options. I can bung this in a bag as it is, a postage bag, and send it to you as it is, or I will rip it out for you. I will frog it completely and get you all the yarn that is in my hands in a wound up ball. So your choice. What would you prefer? If you want this yarn, comment below and tell me one thing that has made you really happy in the last week. So you don't have to have it. You can comment with whatever you want. You don't have to have the yarn. Just say, I don't want that yarn. You can comment whatever you want. But if you would like this, comment below and say, I like the yarn. And tell me one thing that's made you happy in the last week, and then say whether or not you would want it balled up or as it is. And I will, if there's more than one person who wants this, I mean, I'll be surprised if anyone wants this, but if there is more than one, there's nothing wrong with the yarn. It's nice, it's squishy. But if there's anyone that wants this, you can have it as the project, put it back on the needles and finish it. But if you want it, comment below. If there's more than one person that wants it, which I'm sure there won't be, but if there is, then I'll randomly pick one next time. But it's out of the bag, which means it's no longer a whip. It's out of the bag. It's off the needles. I have my incredibly short, for what would have been quite a big project, 4mm. Love a 4mm. Let's put that like just there, because I've got way more things that I want to make. I could make another beloved bonnet. I'm not making another beloved bonnet right now. So I think that is everything project-wise. The comments on last week's, not last week, it wasn't last week, on the last episode, they were amazing. I had so many wonderful comments, and next week I hope to record a video and answer some of those questions, show you my animals, because that was a big request, and just go through those comments and give you a few answers on a few of those things. This month I will be going to Unravel Festival as a visitor. I love Unravel Festival. I have vended at it before. I can't ever apply to vend for the February one because East Anglia Yarn Festival is just too much in March. But I will hopefully apply for the autumn one because that was really fun. I vended that last year and it was really fun. So I'm hoping to video and film around Unravel at the end of this month as well. So that will also be coming to the channel. Those were all my notes. So now I'm into life stuff, little life update. This past few weeks have been crazy with East Anglia Yarn Festival work and sorting out food vendors and sorting out little bits and bobs, everything that I need for the arena, because I've hired an arena for this one, and stuff like that. It's been a little bit crazy. Amongst all of that has been, we've all got colds and feeling really poorly and rough. And my governor work has stepped up. So I am a chair of governors for a local school, and I have been sucked into a lot of volunteering recently with that, which is really wonderful and really fulfilling. And I would really push anybody out there, if you're in the UK, I don't know what the systems are like overseas, but if you're in the UK and you have a local school that you are wanting to support or that you would like to give some time to, school governance is something that everyone seems to say, oh, nobody wants to put their hand up and help out with that. But it's seriously rewarding and can be really fun. So I would recommend it. That's my little soapbox talk for today. But yeah, that's been a lot of work recently, and alongside EAYF and now working through my Doctor Who collection, there's just been a lot of work and not a lot of time, and I'm really enjoying it and I'm really loving it, but I wish there were more hours in the day. My children have both been poorly with colds, the stuff that they get when they go back to school, and Alfie has settled into nursery really well. He absolutely loves it. And yeah, Elle turned 6, so I have a 6-year-old now. I can't believe where the last 6 years have gone. My giant children. It's crazy. Anyway, yeah, that it's just been trudging through life. Trudging through life. Before I upload a new episode, I've been for a little weekend away. Me and Chris are going for a weekend away the weekend before Valentine's. My parents are having the children here and there, and we'll take the dogs. Me and Chris will take the dog for a little trip we're going to Wensleydale in Yorkshire. One of my aunties has a holiday cottage which we are using for the weekend, so that'll be really nice to have a little weekend and a little break. So I might video some bits, might just put some bits on Instagram stories, you never know, we shall see. And yeah, other than that, it's just been clubs, swimming lessons, things, children's stuff. busy. And yeah, I'm losing my knit time again, so I need to try and reclaim a little bit of knitting time every day, at least for my little square a day, which takes less than 15 minutes, I think. I think that's everything, other than everyone's gonna laugh at me and think I'm an idiot, but my eyebrows are really dark. My sister-in-law tinted my eyebrows last night while I was there. In the first like 48 hours of having them done, I feel like they're really dark and scary on my face, so when I started recording I kept like staring at them and thinking, you look weird. And now here I am pointing out to the whole internet because I'm not a clever woman. At this point I would usually go on to work stuff, but there isn't much, to be honest. I've been working on Doctor Who pre-orders. I've already shown you guys the Doctor Who yarn. I've announced that it's on Instagram. The only thing is that today and tomorrow February clubs are going up, so February mini skein club is up and available now. January mini skein clubs have all shipped and I'm hoping will be arriving with people. Well, I know they're arriving with people because I'm tagged on Instagram. I will reveal those on the grid probably next week, but I don't want anybody whose yarn might have been caught up in the post, some of the overseas orders, to accidentally see them over on Instagram first. So they will be popping up over there for the Beauty and Peace colourways, which were January. My mini skein club is Disney, Marvel over the months. So February's mini skein club is Thor inspired, and I will be posting about that on my Instagram in a little bit. So that's that. Out of the clubhouse, my colourway a month club is based on Donald Duck for this month, but I'm reattempting the dyeing because I wasn't 100% happy with the last colourway. And that's pretty much all that's going on for me work-wise, because I'm just getting through Doctor Who. Get you all your orders before the pre-order deadline is up. So there's not a lot to talk about. Anyway, if you're stuck with me through 43 minutes of jibber jabber, thank you so much. I'll see you next time, hopefully, unless I bored you to tears and you're not coming back, in which case fair enough, I understand. I know I'm boring. Yeah, 43 minutes in and I'm off. So thank you so much for making me, as always, so much less of a lonely knitter.